Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Descent into the Dark Second Edition. Oh wow, I really still have it. This is me going through Bol'Goreth's plot deck, Raging Infection. So, is it any good? Well, let's have a look at the start card they have here. It's called Plague Release. So you exhaust this card when a hero is poisoned or diseased is defeated. If that hero was poisoned, each hero within 3 spaces tests might. Each hero fails is poisoned. And if that hero was diseased, each hero within 3 spaces tests willpower, and each hero who fails is diseased. It costs 1 threat to use. Okay, that is something. It can be quite difficult to do that because it's like you've got to make sure that they're poisoned or diseased before they go down, which can be difficult, but I have done it multiple times because I like playing with conditions. It's not really a great start one though. I've knocked out many heroes before they were still poisoned or diseased as well, so you know it's not that great. Not that great at all. We'll leave that one to the side at the moment. We'll just leave it over here. So we'll have a look at another one. Ones that you will buy are infected, which is one to buy. So, okay. It's just a card after setup of an encounter to choose one of your monster groups. Okay, that's fine. And place this card near the group's monster card. While this card is exhausted, each master monster in the group gains Surge Disease. This card does not refresh as normal, or refresh a card at the end of each encounter. Okay, so it's one way to get the disease up. So of course you still need to, well, wound a hero. And you've got to get your surges too, so... Alright, let's have a look at another one. Envenom. Right, one to buy. So exhausted cards will set up and choose one of your monster group and place this card near the monster's card. While it's exhausted, each master monster in the group gains Surge Poison. Card doesn't refresh as normal, so there you have it. Yet again, it's one way to get disease or poison, but you still need to wound, you still need to get the surges. So it can be tricky, but yet again, I'm going to go ahead and say, just remember your class cards and overlord cards. These can help. Well, not these ones, but your overlord cards to go well with these. So yeah, that is one way to get poison and or disease. I'm gonna go ahead and move these two to one side and leave this one here, because let's have a look at another one, which is Mass of Mutation, which is 2 to buy. Sorry, I just slipped there. Right, so you exhaust this card at the start of your turn. Each hero discards all condition cards from their play area. Each condition card discarded gain 1 threat token to a maximum of 4. This card does not refresh as normal. Refresh at the end of each quest. It's 1 to use. Right, well, as I was saying before, that's one way to try and get some conditions on your heroes. I think the maximum that I've ever got was actually 4, but it didn't really last long at all. So it can be very difficult to get as many condition cards on a hero. I mean, most of the time it's 0 to 1, which it's not all that great. I mean, I'd like the conditions to stay on the dumb heroes, not take them away, but it's one way to get threat. Or even if you do manage to get at least 1 condition on all heroes that are playing. So if 2 heroes, that's 2 for 1. Slightly worth it. If there's 3 or 4, then it becomes a lot more worth it. As long as you have at least 3 of them being conditioned. Conditioned. That sounds like they're having a hair wash. Anyway, let's just move that one to the side. I don't think that's all that great, that one. Right, let's have a look at this one, the Infliction Aura. It's 2 to buy. So use the card after setup of an encounter to choose a monster. Each hero of that starts their turn within 5 spaces of that monster is diseased. Place a threat token on the base as a reminder, and it's 2 to use. This is excellent. So I would completely ignore this one, which is the inflicted, and just go for this one straight away. I mean, it does say choose a monster, so it doesn't actually have to be a master. So if you're only going to get to have 1 minion, for example, say it's like only 2 heroes, that means some monster groups is just 1 minion. You could put that one on that one. Also, you could put it on lieutenants too. Just remember that they're going to be constantly diseased, and it's within 5 spaces, which is huge. Yeah, I mean, that just means constant disease, really. And even if they're kind of far away from each other, this could also help just in case. So, completely ignored this. I wouldn't bother. There are plenty of other creatures that does disease, even poison as well, but the Infliction Aura really does help. Plus, it does work well with the Mass Mutation. So that's the each hero discards all conditions. Then you get that threat back, and then they're diseased again. That's horrible. Oh, that is very, very cruel. So I am going to leave this one in play, and still leave this one in play. And I'm going to go for the Defeated Strength. This is 2 to buy. So exhaust a card when a hero passes an attribute test from a poisoned or diseased condition card. That hero fails their test instead, and it's only 1 to use. Right, so this is it. This is where it becomes quite annoying. So if they do actually move out the range of this, and they do manage to get rid of their disease, because they practically have like no stamina left, so all fatigue is gone. Boom it. There you go. Job done. And that's really it. This is a pretty good combo already. Although most of the time you won't need this around, but it's just in case when they move away. So yeah, you've got something in the book. I'm going to move that to one side. I'm still going to leave these out. I'm going to go with Weakness Within. It's 2 to buy. So exhaust a card after setup of an encounter while this card is exhausted. Each time a hero fails an attribute test while poisoned or diseased, that hero suffers a damage in addition to any other effects. Yeah. So they're constantly diseased. If they don't get rid of it, they'll take a damage as well. Yeah. And of course, let's go back to that Defeated Strength, which is you can make them fail. Could, if you wanted to. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and leave these 3 out. We've still got a few more to go. Take a look at this one, which is Weakened Spirit. It's a free. This is it. This is the more expensive style. So exhaust this card when a hero is defeated to mark that hero with a threat token from the supply. Each marked hero applies -1 to their willpower, while they while they are diseased. That's better. And a -1 to their might while they are poisoned. Seriously, so hard. Right, so you discard all threat tokens on the heroes and the quest. Right, so I'm going to put that to here. This is going to be a lot more difficult to get rid of disease now. As you can see, just with all of this lot. And just in case, if they do, please remember the fetus strings. So yeah, this is very dangerous. This is very dangerous indeed. I'm gonna go ahead and move these to one side now. And here it is. This is the Virulent Cloud. It's for... come on. Keep slipping out my hands, right. So, exhaust a card during turn. Each hero with the poisoned condition suffers 1 damage, and each hero with the disease condition suffers 30 damage. So this card does not refresh normal. Refresh at the end of the counter. This is during you just exhaust this card during your turn. But it's only better when they are poisoned and diseased. If they're just diseased, I mean, it could be worth it because it's all about draining their stamina, and all their fatigue is gone. So that's one way to weaken them. It's a little bit difficult. Maybe I probably wouldn't even buy this. That's why I moved all the other cards to one side. And now we have the final card, which is Summon Bol'Goreth, which is free to buy. So use this card of some count and choose to open monster group. Replace 1 master and 2 minion monsters. Just to get Bol'Goreth. And if Bol'Goreth agent is defeated, return this card to the plot deck. You cannot use this card in the quest that uses Bol'Goreth Lieutenant. And it's 2 to activate. Well, let's go ahead and have a look at Bol'Goreth's agent card. So, you know, it's got breach, surge damage, surge, disease and poison, Now we're getting somewhere. So yeah, okay, Bol'Goreth with his own plot deck is kind of a necessary thing. However, like I said, there are other creatures that will do damage with disease or poison as long as you can actually get them through. Bol'Goreth has the blue and red in the Act 1, so it's going to be difficult to get those surges. However, do remember that you have your Overlord cards. They can help. His health is actually still pretty good. His defense is, you know, it's nothing to like shout about. Whilst in Act 2, blue, red, pretty decent health, good defense, and it's also got resilient. What does resilient do? So at the start of the Overlord turn, discard 1 condition token from Bol'Goreth. Like, yeah, that's not bad. As long as you know your hero players like to use conditions themselves. As an Overlord, I love using conditions because it's so much fun, and well, that's really about it. It's just fun. I'm going to put these to one side and do the last bit, which is show Bol'Goreth's mini. Here he is. He wants to shake your hand. Yeah, it looks pretty good until I really turn things around. You could probably see it looks a little like flat here, and then ooh, that's not good. It's really flat and smooth right there. But all in all, it is a nice mini, I guess. Oh well, let's do a little recap of what I think. I mean, there's some nice cards in this deck, but that's what it is, just nice cards. A lot of them I probably wouldn't even use. Only the main ones I've shown you that are kept out. Otherwise, it's and they've also it's all about making sure that the heroes are poisoned or diseased, which can be difficult. I have done a few quests before where I've never been able to do anything apart from just damage. No conditions whatsoever, which means all those cards are complete waste. I probably wouldn't recommend this deck at all. I mean, unless you really do like using lots of conditions, and what I've shown you with what you can do with this deck, well, that could actually be helpful and beneficial. So, yeah, but that's really about it. Yeah, I'd skip this one. Unless you really do like the poison and disease conditions. That's it. So thank you very much for listening, Robbie.